Bud, you want to show the people what you can do? Front. Heel. Good. Circle. Center. Go boy. Heel. Good. Around. Front. Good boy. The last time we weighed Winston, he was 64 pounds, which is within the average, within the healthy average. But I want to reduce his weight just a couple of pounds and increase his stamina now that it's summertime. So let's see how much he weighs. Winston, come. Here, here, here. All right, let's weigh you.
62 pounds. This is perfect.
So I like where he is right now. The way that I got here is I just gave him less food per portion, and I gave him a little bit more physical exercise. Now we feed him a raw diet, a pre-made raw diet, and it's probably one of the best things that we ever done for him. His poos are much smaller. He takes less poos because he's absorbing the nutrients much more. Hey bud, playing some ball. And his coat is shinier, so his overall health is just so much better. Now, I know a lot of people are curious about the raw diet, but they're afraid to make the jump because they think it's gonna make their dog sick or it costs too much money. But in my experience, cost-wise, it's about the same as the way I was feeding him before. And if you're worried about your dog getting sick, they're not gonna get sick unless if they have obviously allergies to maybe chicken or beef or whatever it is. Otherwise, your dog is not going to get sick. Anyway, I go into detail. Go check it out. You'll be able to click it at the end of this video.
So now let's talk about his training. So I think in the 6-month-old update video, I said he was 75% crate trained. Well, now he's just 100% crate trained. Like he sleeps in there, he relaxes in there. He's just 100% crate trained. And even though he is, I still have to do some upkeep, right? And the way I do this is I just put him in the crate for at least 1 hour a day, 1 consecutive hour a day. I think I also touched on him reacting to doorbells and people knocking on the door. Well, the way that we handled this, and he's doing very well at this now, is that if I know guests are coming over, I just put him inside the crate, because when he's inside the crate and people knock or ring the doorbell, he doesn't react. But obviously I can't always do this. There's always gonna be a time where, you know, we get a delivery, right? So the way that we desensitize them to this is that just at random times of the day or whenever we come into the house, we'll just knock and ring on the doorbell. I mean, it worked for us. It may not work for you guys, but it's something to consider, right? You can do that and then just reward calm behavior. Now for loose leash walking, like everybody wants to have a dog that can actually loose leash walk. And it's something we've been working on. It's not a priority for us, but we have been working on it and it's gotten very well. We've only done it around the neighborhood. So obviously outside the neighborhood, it might be a little different, but right now we have like a 90%, you know, success rate. So we're very happy with that. But like I said, it's not a priority for us right now. Our priority is working on his reactivity. If you guys have been following us, you know that Winston is reactive to other dogs. It's not an aggressive reaction, it's a playful reaction. He wants to go over and play with them, and then when he can't, he gets frustrated. So anyway, the way that we are handling this is that we are seeing a trainer, and we've had a lot of great success so far. In fact, our last session was a major breakthrough. We are now able to recall him off of dogs. If you see in this clip here, we kind of walk towards my trainer's dog and then we just do a U-turn, and he's fine. He's doing it very well. Now, I'm not saying he's always going to be like this. It's just in this session, he was able to do that. It was such a good session that we actually then put him on a long line. And then we gave him the opportunity to make a decision, right? We put him on a long line. I said, free, go do whatever you want to. And he kind of, you know, walked over to the dog, and then he made a right decision and came back right towards me. I didn't even say anything. We know he has the ability to do this now. And we have one more class, which is actually later today. Like as I'm recording this, I have one more class today. And then we have a final test. And that final test is going to be, we're going to go to a group reactivity class. And I'm not looking for perfection. I don't think he's going to be perfect, but we want to see if he has the ability to stay calm around multiple dogs. And once he passes this test, I think we're gonna join the group reactivity class. So if you guys are also experiencing reactivity and you're not making any progress, I suggest going seeing a trainer. If you do see a trainer, keep in mind that yes, you get to work with the trainer, you get to work with a calm dog, and you get, you know, all this experience and knowledge. But at the end of the day, it falls on you. You have to go home and put in the work as well. And when I mean go home, I mean like go to new places, go to parks, go to trails, go to malls, go to whatever you need to do to get that exposure and get those reps in. Because if you don't do this, you're just gonna be wasting your money. So this is exactly what we're doing. We're going to new places and getting that exposure. And it's really important because there's gonna be scenarios that you can't predict. And this is exactly what happened to me. Again, I think I have the worst luck, but I went to a new park and I got out the car with Winston, and immediately we worked on engagement because he was kind of looking around and, it was kind of scatterbrained. So we did that for about 3 to 5 minutes. And then after that, I brought him over to the grass area. And then we continued our training there. And as we're doing our training, I see a car pull up and a lady comes out and she goes to the back seat, like the back side of the car, to open the door. And I'm expecting a kid to come out, right? Nope, it was her dog, and it wasn't on a leash, and it just bolted out and ran straight towards us. So now I'm like in a panic because this dog is straight up charging us. It has no leash on, and the lady is just standing there and she's like, viens ici, viens ici, which means come here in French. And obviously Winston sees him. Now, Winston did not bark. He did not lunge. He did get up on his hind legs for a moment, but overall, he was doing well for him. Anyway, this dog is charging towards us, and she says, viens ici, and the dog kind of stops and looks back and then looks at us and then continues running at us. And during this, I'm kind of like pulling Winston back, and I'm trying to stay as calm as possible because I know if I start yelling or I raise my voice or whatever, it's going to trigger something in Winston. It brings this energy in the air and he feeds off of that, and it'll be a disaster. So I'm staying calm as possible, trying to bring Winston back. I'm calling him over, so on and so forth. And this dog is continuing to charge us. Luckily, the dog had to stop and take a shit. It stopped right in front of us and took a shit. So at this moment, I'm like, okay, we gotta get out of here. So I continue pulling him back, not pulling him, but like coercing him back, calling him back, and we get far as possible. And it just goes to show like the training is actually working, and there's stupid people out there. There's scenarios that you can't predict. So you just try your best, and that's what we did, and we came out without any scratches. Now, he was a little whiny after the incident, but dude, he did, in my opinion, he did so well, and I was so proud of him. So a little tip for you guys, and this is something I didn't even consider, but if you live in an area where you have winter and you have summer, you're gonna have to train for those seasons like specifically. And what I mean by that is that during winter time, there's less people, there's less dogs, there's less everything, right? Less noise. So you're gonna have less exposure. Now, for us, especially in our neighborhood, the people who own dogs, they don't go to the park when there's snow, like when there's a lot of snow. So it was just me and Winston in the park basically the entire winter, and it was just us. And what actually ended up happening, and I just figured it out now, is that it got to the point where Winston became a little territorial towards the park because there was no dogs there for like the past 6 months, 7 months. So he kind of became, like I said, territorial towards the park. Anyway, now it's something that we have to work on. It's not too bad, but like it's evident. It's evident. Now, during the summertime, there is those people, there are those noises, there are those reactive dogs, there are those people who just don't give a shit. They'll just leave their dog off leash and they don't really care, right? So it's really it's like black and white. You really have to train for both of those seasons. So what we've been doing is trying to promote calmness outside, because to him it means go, 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 play, play, play. And I don't want that. I want him to be able to stay calm outdoors. So what we've been doing is that, you guys have seen us, we've gone to malls and we just do absolutely nothing. I'll even take him to my backyard and do nothing. To him, the backyard is like a playground. So sometimes I'll just, eat some lunch, I'll tie him up to a post and we just sit and relax. And now it's gotten to the point where he can actually sleep outside, which is great because it just shows me that he can truly, truly relax outside. And now that I think about it, Winston might be a little territorial also because he isn't neutered yet. I don't know if I want to neuter him, to be honest. If I do, it would be like in 1.5 to 2 years. If you guys do consider neutering and spaying your dogs, do it after 6 months, like at a year is what I mean, because at 6 months, your dog is still growing, right? Winston was 49 pounds at 6 months, and now he's like 62 or whatever I said before. So there is a lot of growth still to happen.
All right, bud. Tell the people to like and subscribe.